Good evening, guys. I just wanted to take a quick moment. I was returning some emails and I was talking to a few people. And what came out of that is that, guys, I'm convinced one of the largest detriments to people coming to a personal relationship with Jesus are church people. When people walk into a door on Sunday morning, it may be somebody that has just walked off the street in no manner of mindset to want to hear you exalt yourself. They just need to hear Jesus. Let me talk to you for a minute about how sometimes we're kind of a dick to people. Sometimes we're mean to people. Sometimes we kind of treat people like crap when they walk into a church, and there's just no nice way to say that. And it's something that really breaks my heart. Let me talk to you for a moment from Luke chapter 18, verses 9 through 14. It's the parable of the Pharisee and the tax collector. And I'm going to read it very quickly for those of you that may not be familiar with it. To some who were confident of their own righteousness and looked down on everyone else, Jesus told this parable. 2 men went up to the temple to pray, one a Pharisee and the other a tax collector. The Pharisee stood by himself and prayed, God, I thank you that I am not like these other people, robbers, evildoers, adulterers, or even like this tax collector. I fast twice a week and give a tenth of all I get. But the tax collector stood at a distance. He wouldn't even look to heaven. He beat his chest and he said, God, have mercy on me, a sinner. I tell you that this man, rather than the other, went home justified before God. For all those who exalt themselves will be humbled, and all those who humble themselves will be exalted. When somebody walks into a church, they don't need to hear how great things are for you. They don't need to hear all the stuff that you do right, all that churchy stuff. They don't care how much you fast. They don't care how often you pray. They don't care how many times you read the Bible. They don't care that you got a Joyce Meyer CD in your friggin' car and you listen to it on the way to work. They don't care about that. They showed up because there's something inside of them that said they need to be there. And they came either for fellowship, or they came for renewal, or they came for education, or they came for that personal encounter with Jesus. For all you know, the Holy Spirit has been working on them for months to get them there on that day. And what they need is somebody with open arms and a loving heart. They need somebody to be Jesus. They don't need somebody to be this Pharisee. They don't need somebody to call them out and say, oh, good thing you're at church today, brother. I saw you down at the liquor store on Friday. You must have had one heck of a party. They don't need that. Who needs that? What, are you jealous? I mean, how does that even come up? And I use that because that's an actual event that occurred. So, guys, we got to stop treating people like crap, plain and simple. Because let me tell you, on a daily basis, God humbles me and reminds me that, hey, you're screwed up. There's not a day that goes by that some kind of sin doesn't pop up. And sometimes I know it's coming, but I just can't get out of the way. And sometimes it just runs up on me, and I'm like, wow, how unworthy I really am. And if you're not having those moments, then you're probably not having those conversations that you need to be having with Jesus, where He shows you the areas you need for improvement, the areas that He can help you with. Because if you think that actions like this Pharisee took place you above somebody else, then there's a breakdown in the relationship. Not your relationship with other people, but your relationship with Jesus. Guys, don't be that stumbling block. Be Jesus to the people that walk through the door on Sundays. Peter Haas said something years ago in a sermon. He's a pastor at a Substance Church and wrote a great book called Pharisectomy. And so I follow some of his podcasts, and he said that he told all of his church members that Sunday morning was for anyone to have an encounter with Jesus, whether it was them needing a refreshment of the Holy Spirit, whether it was them needing to do business with God, whether it was about the person that walked in off the street. He said, because Sunday morning is the one time of the week that people know just culturally, that they can walk into a church if they feel the need to do business with God, and that's what they're there for on Sunday mornings. He said any other day of the week, he said we will be here for our church members, but on Sundays, we're here for the lost. And I think that's phenomenal. That's phenomenal, and it's the way we really all ought to be. Guys, please make sure that you represent Christ to the people that walk in your church on Sundays. Because church is not about a building. It's not about you being a part of the cool church and the fact that the pastor wears jeans and flip-flops makes you better than that church down the road. Because when somebody walks in, they don't want to hear how awesome your church is. They want to meet Jesus. When you get a chance to talk to somebody during the week, don't tell them how awesome your church is. Tell them about Jesus. And don't tell them about everything you do. Ask them what you can do for them. Guys, that's my thought for the evening. Good night. God bless. Until we meet again. Bye-bye.